if there was a word, Sparkle, because you know me, I'm very big on personal development and doing things for you and finding different ways to get better as a whole. If there was a word to describe this season of your life, what would that word be? And give me a little context behind why.
I would say resilience. This year in particular, I had, a lot of bumps in the road, especially like earlier on this year. I had a health scare. I lost one of my closest friends, and it was just a really dark time. And I think that even going back to what I said with like overcome, like being strong, like you have to be strong. Like I can't, like, it's, as I said, it's just me. I can't lay in the bed for days and days and days and just not do anything. I have to get up. I have to go to work. I have to, make money. I have to like take care of my daughter. Like it's no if, buts, and maybe. But even in those times when you going through stuff, like you still have to take a moment and like process. Because if you don't process, like I'm not gonna be good for anybody. So I think that just knowing that I could be weak, even trying to be strong, if that makes sense.
Yeah. When you think about everything that you just said, right, and now you're looking at what is the next 10 to 15 years going to be and what you would like it to be. But there's a lot of things in life that you just mentioned that does not go according to plan. And it's very hard to let go of a situation when we as people always want to know what is next, what is next. How do you let go of certain ideas that don't play out the way how you expected it to? Is there something that you have in mind that helps you do that? Or is it one of those things where you have to take it daily? Because there's been a lot of unexpected things that come into your life, right? How do you not hold on to that? How do you let it go and say, I'm going to keep moving forward here?
I think at this stage in my life, it's a lot easier to do that.
Yeah.
Before it was, I would be like, oh my gosh, let me just hold on to it. But now I've just learned that in order for me to grow and in order for me to gain things or just attract new things and new possibilities, I have to let go of what I thought was what I wanted and allow for just whatever it is to come to me.
I've always been very cognizant of a whole bunch of different things, but I'm also at a stage in my life now where it's with things and people where I've never been one to force anything. I think whatever you try to force something, it doesn't fit, and we want it to fit so bad.
Yep.
But because you want it to fit doesn't mean that it's going to fit. And it's one of those things where I'm just like, man, I don't want anything in my life that is not for me. And oftentimes when we make those affirmations and claims, God has a way of removing it from us. Yeah. And even when you think of you as a person who is trying to continue to grow and continue to develop as a person, we all have weaknesses in those areas. One of the things for me is I've never been a patient person. I hate waiting for any single thing, right? But I've been forced to wait. So I had to learn how to wait. A lot of people talk about their strengths, but they don't always talk about their weaknesses. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things, Sparkle, that you have to work on?
For me, it's not knowing what's next. That frustrates me. Like, I need to know how it's gonna line up, like what is gonna happen next. Like, I just need to know. And if I don't know, like it overwhelms me. Like I get so overwhelmed with like thinking about it, and I have to like pull myself back and be like, okay, Sparkle, like relax, like
yeah.
So I think that that's one of the biggest things that for me I need to work on, because it's like I'm not gonna know what's next. I'm not gonna know, and then I'll create this idea in my head of what's gonna be next, and then when it don't happen, then I'm disappointed. So for me, that's basically one of the biggest things that I'm still working on, and yeah, it frustrates me sometimes. I'm just learning, as you said, to let go and let God do His thing, because we don't have control, and we may think, okay, this is what we want to happen next, but then it's not always that way.